The latest episode of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms left me feeling extremely disappointed in Duncan. My man just got smacked around for the entire battle. Let's talk about it. After last week's excellent episode, I and everybody else out there that's a fan of this series was very much looking forward to seeing this battle play out. And although it didn't quite play out exactly how I was expecting to, it did lead to that heartbreak that I was expecting from any series that has George R.R. Martin's name on it. I'll admit I was a bit surprised when we cut away from that battle and went to a flashback, but I do think in the end that flashback did prove extremely helpful towards helping us understand just who Duncan is and what drives him and pushes him forward. In this flashback, we see a younger Duncan and we come to understand how he came to be in the service of Sir Arlen of Pennytree. As a child without parents or a home, we see Duncan and Raph living life as street dwellers, robbing from corpses, searching for any way that they can to earn some coin. But when Raph pushes things a bit too far, she ends up getting herself killed, and this is the moment that we are first introduced to Sir Arlen of Pennytree, who by the way is a terrible drunk and not really a great warrior either. Which really does make sense when you see just how terrible of a fighter Duncan really is. But what matters most is not that Sir Arlen is the greatest warrior in Westeros, but that he stepped in and did his duty to defend the innocent. Which clearly Duncan took to heart, because that is the exact reason that he is in the predicament that he is in. He decided to defend the innocent. I enjoyed this entire flashback. I thought it was brilliant the way they kept cutting to scenes of Arlen training, Duncan following him, his voiceover while he's drunkenly singing. I thought that was all really brilliant. I found myself wondering how Duncan was actually not getting an infection from that injury that he took. So it did make sense when he finally fell to the ground, and that is where he first hears Arlen say, "Get up." Those words ring out and likely defined everything that Duncan has done in his life going forward. He is always getting up. So when we finally cut forward to that battle, I thought, okay, now this makes sense. I was a little bit taken out by the flashback, but now I understand what they were going for. They are showing us that determination that Duncan has. But damn, Duncan just got smacked around again and again and again, and I found myself thinking, is this guy actually worthy of being a knight? Because he has that honor for sure, but he has no skill. He's basically untrained. What was Sir Arlen teaching him? Because it was not fighting, that's for sure. Honestly, my man Duncan is kind of like Jason Voorhees. No matter how many times he got stabbed, he just kept getting up. And by the way, I lost track of how many different injuries that Duncan got throughout this episode, but it was a lot. And for a moment there, I was actually thinking, you know what? They might actually kill Duncan. It would not surprise me in the least bit to see a series from George R.R. Martin kill the lead character, or who we think is the lead character. He looked extremely dead. And I felt extremely bad for Egg, who is sitting here watching this man that he's been admiring just continue to get the shit kicked out of him. You can see that Egg really does care a lot about Duncan, and this entire battle was extremely stressful for him. I don't know if they have therapy in Westeros, I'm kind of doubting it, but this kid is probably going to need it. I don't know why, but it took me a bit to realize that the knight that Duncan was fighting was actually Aerion, who by the way is a much better fighter than Duncan. That is undisputable. Really, the only credit that I can give to Duncan is that he seems to be unkillable and just keeps getting up. I do wish that Duncan had finished Aerion off in the end. What is it with people in Westeros and letting the bad guys continue to breathe? That happened in House of the Dragon and it happened here. And I'm positive that this guy Aerion is not done being a thorn in Duncan's side, so it was a big mistake, I think. I knew that there was going to be some brutal deaths in this episode. This is a Battle of the Seven after all, and I was really expecting Sir Raymond to be the one to meet his maker. So when the battle ended and Sir Raymond was still alive, I thought, okay, all right, that's a bit surprising. But then it turns out that Sir Daeron is the one to meet his end. And man, I liked that guy. I thought he is actually a noble Targaryen. I just felt so bummed. And when they showed his head, I was like, oh yeah, he's cooked. This is exactly why nobody in the audience was volunteering, because this is a fight to the death. And this exact thing is what was likely to happen. But all in all, this was an excellent episode. It was brutal. It was surprising. I did enjoy that flashback sequence, understanding more about Duncan. I really thought that Duncan was going to be a better warrior than he is. This is called a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, but so far, all I saw is a guy waiting to become a knight. So somebody needs to get that boy training ASAP. But guys, this was an excellent episode. Put your thoughts on this one in the comments. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to hear more things from me, subscribe to this channel. Later.